What's going on, beautiful people? It is I, your flying locomotive, and faster than a speeding bullet SuperCliff, coming at you live with a brand new video. And for today's video, I want to talk about the finale to House of the Dragon Season 2, Episode 8. Now, before we get into anything, obviously there are going to be spoilers, so you've been warned. But before we get into anything, if you guys are new to the channel, then smash that like and subscribe button. That way you guys never miss out on anything that happens on this majestic channel. So what are you waiting for? Let's raise the bar and go full on Super Saiyan. Hit that subscribe button. Thus, without further ado, let's get into the House of the Dragon Season 2 finale. Alright, so I want to just start off right off the bat. I really like this episode a lot. Now also, I will say this. Season 1 is better than Season 2. That doesn't mean, however, Season 2 is terrible. Me personally, I think the only bad episode was Episode 6 because not a lot happened in that episode. Machinations and political scheming was still happening. The collecting of the Dragonseeds, that was a thing being shown, demonstrated, but there's just a lot in that episode I just didn't jibe with at all. But this last episode of Season 2, I really thought was phenomenal. I thought the music was great. The fact that Alicent, Rhaenyra are kind of coming together and like Alicent's agreeing the fact that, yeah, she has to kill her son. She has to let Aegon go. Because he's alive, his status of threat will always exist for Rhaenyra. Now, I've seen a lot of discourse online saying that this season was a trailer for Season 3. I disagree. And I also seen a lot of discourse saying that this season was worse than Season 8. And I couldn't disagree more. Season 8 was terrible. It tried to subvert our expectations, but in ways that just didn't make sense with the characters, nor the plot that they were telling. Here, yes, could this season have used an extra, 2 episodes and maybe a final battle? Sure. It's definitely not worse than Season 8. There's a lot to like. We get to see the Triarchy, their home country in Essos, down south, near the Step Zones. We have a great scene between Alan of Hall talking with Corlys, saying that while you had your son flaunting about, worshiping him as your next heir, me and my brother, we had to beat people up for bread. So fuck off. No, I don't need your pity. I'm gonna do what I want because I'm an honorable person and I'm a good person. I thought that was a great exchange. I like their father and son chemistry because Corlys plays that guy who's I've never been there for your childhood, but I'll show up when you're famous and rich. That's kind of where Corlys is right now in his life. I think the last scene of the show where you have all the different armies marching across Westeros, heading to war, I thought that was really cool. It really made everything kind of feel connected and worth it in terms of what the season was about. Now, I will admit, I think throughout Season 2, Daemon's story was probably the weakest. However, the Weirwood scene where he sees the future, essentially the full hard drive version of A Song of Ice and Fire, it makes that entire journey, though tedious at times, worth it. And I've seen a lot of people online say, well, Daemon just did the same thing he learned in Season 1. No, he didn't do the same thing. He didn't learn anything in Season 1, but we understood who he was in Season 1, and he was someone who felt cheated from the throne. And he followed Rhaenyra not because she's just family, that she's hot and sexy, but the fact is that for him, Daemon saw a way to get the throne through her. And in this season, we see him put aside his personal ambition for the good of the realm. This is not the same plot that Daemon underwent in the first season. Though I understand the misconception at first, it's just not. Overall, I give this season a B. There are a lot of flaws with it, but not enough flaws to warrant that this season is worse than Season 8. I think that's just more of a reaction-based take. I also believe that ever since Season 4 Game of Thrones, and ever since Hardhome and Battle of the Bastards, people expect Game of Thrones to be this action-heavy centric show. And the best season of Game of Thrones, 1 through 4, were not that. Yes, there's the Battle of Blackwater Bay, there was the Battle at the Wall, but overall, it's mostly talking and scenes and people just kind of going through the motions of everyday life in Westeros. And that is the same exact thing in House of the Dragon. So this idea of expecting battles, yes, I understand that maybe this show could have maybe ended with one battle. That's not why these shows are good. And I feel that the wrong people, the people who watch Marvel and DC, which no offense to, that's great stuff and I love it too, but that's not what this is. And so I'm wondering if, Season 7 and 8 of Game of Thrones spoiled people just want action all the time. Just a thought, just my little, theory as to why people are also complaining about the season ending season 2. But overall, I really like the season. I think the biggest flaw that this season has is the fact we have to wait 2 more years until season 3 happens. But I do think once the show is complete and once all 4 seasons are available, I think season 2 will grow better in time. Because the same sort of thing happened with Empire Strikes Back. No one knew, when the next movie was going to come out. People can't deal with cliffhangers. And this is the perfect example of a unsatisfied cliffhanger. Yet I do believe that once all these seasons are finished, I don't think people will complain as much as they are now with season 2. So yeah, those are my thoughts and opinions on the season finale of House of the Dragon season 2. And what do you guys think? What are your thoughts and opinions on the season finale? Are you guys disappointed? Do you want more episodes? Do you think that was the main problem? Are you guys excited for Night of the Seven Kingdoms coming out, I believe, in March 2025? Let me know down your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. And until the next video, peace. Giggity goo.